What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to Serial Productions. So I saw Madam Web last night, you guys, before work. And I went into this movie with an open mind. But I also had heard a bunch of terrible reviews, a bunch of terrible early reactions. And I went to go see this movie just to see how bad this movie was. And because of Sydney Sweeney. But that's a different story. What did I think about Madam Web? If I'm being completely honest with you guys, which I love to be, I think Madam Web was probably the worst comic book film of all time. And I'm not hating. This movie was so bad, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like in disbelief. In the year 2024, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no. This can't be real. Like, there have been some bad Marvel movies recently. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumanium, Thor, Love and Thunder. But nothing on the level of Madam Web bad. Like, we're talking Elektra bad. We're talking Catwoman bad. In fact, I'd rather watch Catwoman and Elektra than Madam Web again. I will never watch this. I was just in disbelief. I had so many issues with this film. The story, the inconsistency, the acting, the dialogue, the ADR, I believe it's called ADR, between, oh my God, the main villain's name. Ezekiel Sims. It was so distracting. It took me completely out of the movie. So you never really saw him speak. And when he did, the voice of the actor didn't seem like he was actually talking. His lips were moving, but then the voiceover, the ADR, it was not in tune. It was not in sync. I was like, oh my God. How many script rewrites or what kind of reshoots that you guys had to do to add in that extra dialogue? Because that's how bad it was. I was in disbelief, you guys. Dakota Johnson, the star of the film, Madam Web. Look, she did the best she could with what she was given. That's what I'll say. But you would think as an actor, even if the script is horrendous and terrible, you would still be able to perform, right? Jared Leto's Morbius, script was terrible, but at least Jared Leto was good. Dakota Johnson was so bad with her delivery and her lines and her dialogue. I was just like, bro, are you kidding me? I was like, now this makes all the sense in the world watching your press tour. It seems like you don't give two shits. It seems like this was a payday for you. You took it and you're like, you know what? They offered me $10 million. Sure, why not? The budget for this film was what, $80 million? I think it pulled in $28 million domestic over its 6th day. Terrible numbers. I just couldn't believe that Sony decided to actually put this out. I felt like this should have been a tax write-off. They should have pulled a David Zaslav. And, you know, I hate to say that. I honestly hate to say that. Because I don't know why they put this movie out. What was the reasoning behind Madam Web if it didn't tie in or connect any of your movies that you're doing? Your Venom. Your Venom Let to Be Garbage. Venom Let to Be Carnage. Your Morbius. Your Kraven the Hunter. What is the sole purpose? You're just spending this money just so you don't lose the rights to some characters? Is that the reason behind it? Because if so, Sony, shame on you. You're taking the comic book genre that I love so much, that I've been watching since I was a child, with the first Spider-Man and the earlier X-Men films, and you're putting out this garbage just to keep the rights to characters? Is that a reason? Because it seems like there was no love, there was no passion, there was no... I'm sorry, but There's no creativity. I didn't feel any of that in this movie. Now, apparently, this film had gone through so many script changes. Maybe Dakota Johnson signed on and the film was completely different. Like, I know that there was that storyline of, them having to protect May Parker because, Peter Parker was on the way as a baby. That storyline would have been so much better than what we got. I just, the origin story. Oh, my God, you guys. So the 3 Spider Women, right? The 3 Spider Women, everybody was kind of excited to see what they were going to do with that. How much screen time they actually heard in the movie. When I say that in the trailers, when we saw those reveals, that was literally the amount of time we got of the girls in their actual costumes. I could not fucking believe it. I was waiting for them. I was like, okay, third act's here. When are they going to get their powers? Is this going to happen? No, it didn't happen whatsoever. I was like, oh, wow. And then they reused footage that they showed at the beginning, revealing the girls going after, Sims and his little, his dreams. Oh my God, they're going to come and kill me. I got to kill these teenagers. Then they reused that scene of them all 3 standing there like that. But then Madam Web was in the back. I was like, you just reused that scene. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, okay, I am so done with this movie. I was just baffled. Why was Mike Epps in this movie? When he died, why should I have cared? Let me drive. I just have a feeling. Let me drive. What? I was just like, my God. Ben Parker, Scott Adams, I believe that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was okay as Ben. You know what I mean? He was cool. But all the little subtle references to the larger Spider-Man universe and it was just it felt so shoehorned in. I was just like, you guys don't have a Spider-Man in your universe. Stop it. I don't care for these references. Stop it. Tom Holland's not coming. I'm sorry. Andrew Garfield is not hopping over without Marvel Studios. Tobey Maguire isn't hopping over without Marvel Studios. At all. The whole, oh my God. Dude, the action scenes of this movie were terrible. They were just so bad. I was like, is this even an action movie? It felt so rushed and so outdated. Setting it back in 2003 was a problem. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. I don't know what the studio was thinking. They weren't thinking at all. And you can tell from start to finish. This is so much worse than Morbius. It's not even funny. When I first saw Morbius, I liked it. Rewatched it, didn't like it. This movie, I will never watch again. Ever. Madam Web and her power set, and her and the backstory and the origin story of her mom and Ezekiel Sims and the spider people at the beginning of the movie in Peru. I was like, what are we doing here? I was like, this is so dumb. The spider people kind of had the design of a Spider-Man. I was just like, this has to be made up, right? And apparently these characters were made up for the movie. Stupid. We got to get bit by this spider because, it enhances your strength and your ability. You're able to climb on walls. But I was like, what? Why does this spider give people abilities? I was like, doesn't, the Spider-Man, radioactive and, he gets bit because it was in a lab in Oscorp. It was, created. I was just like, what the hell, dude? What else was bad? The comedy didn't land. The chemistry wasn't there. Dakota Johnson, in one particular scene, when she was like, well, maybe I can, crawl up a wall. And she does it in her apartment. Holy crap. That was bad. The acting was so, I'm sorry, but this felt like such a C-list movie. And I hate to shit on these actors and actresses. I really do hate to shit on this movie. And this is more so what Chris Stuckman said. This is on the studio. I blame Sony Pictures for this crap. Like I said, You're taking the comic book genre that I love so much, and you are destroying it and giving it a bad name. I can't wait to see what the second weekend drop-off is going to be for Madam Web. I really can't wait to see it. I'm going to be so fascinated by it. So fascinated by it. Even the fact, like, the way Ezekiel Sims dies in the movie, I was just like, oh my God, he gets crushed by an S, by the sign. And I was like, oh, they kind of teased that when, Dakota Johnson, was at the beginning of the movie and she's going after somebody. And, she has her whole power set and you see that random S. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so stupid. Nothing added up, you guys. And it sucked so much because I was expecting to see, a massive cool third act with the Spider-Girls, the Spider-Women getting down or whatever. I don't even know their names. I don't even care to know their names. It's just like, it just seems like Dakota Johnson didn't have an ounce of fun making this movie. Just look at the press tour, you guys, and tell me how you feel, honestly. Tell me how you feel watching that press tour. It seems like it's just forced. She's just like, oh, okay. Name the Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man, here we go again, Spider-Man. There we go, Spider-Man. This is that. Not a care in the world. I don't care. This movie means nothing to me. And it sucks. It really does. Because Madam Web could have actually been done so much better if she wasn't in her own solo movie and they actually adapted her actual character that was more comic book accurate because things were changed for no reason. You have the source material right there. See these comic books? It's the source material. You use it. You utilize it. You enhance it. You don't change things for no particular reason to fit the narrative of your story that obviously it doesn't work out. No post-credit scenes, thank the Lord. But what's the future of this Sony universe? What kind of effects will this have on Kraven the Hunter? Which I'm kind of excited for. I like the R band, the red band trailer. I thought that was cool. R-rated Kraven the Hunter movie, I'm with that. But I'm a little nervous. Venom 3, don't care for at all. Honestly, not excited. I can't stand those Venom movies. At least the first one was watchable. It was watchable. But I'm like, I don't care for this Venom. It's not my Venom. He's goofy, Yeah, he's comical in the comics. I get it. But I'm just like, this Venom's trash. No kind of spider powers. It just seems weak. You know what I mean? I am so confused about what Sony plans to do with their universe. What's the end game? What's the big goal? When are these things going to actually tie into each other? When are you going to have a Spider-Man that actually means something? Because right now they're just these little random ass movies. And it seems like I said, like some people are really stating like they're only doing these movies so they don't lose the rights to these characters. So yeah, we can spend $100 million. Maybe we can make $50 million. We'll lose money, but now we have the character back for another 15 years. That's really what it seems like. And that is really unfortunate, you guys. Really unfortunate. What else? My God, what else? The editing in this movie, like I said, the pacing in this movie just didn't fit. There was nothing good about this movie. Even Sydney Sweeney, you guys, which, nothing at all. Like, it's just, I didn't care for the girls. I was just like, I want all of y'all to get y'all asses whipped. Like, y'all was dancing in the little, when they were in the woods and she was like, don't go nowhere. Seriously. Don't do anything dumb. Nothing dumb. And then they go to the that little, diner or whatever, and they're dancing on the table. I was just like, what are we doing? What is this crap? Ugh, garbage. Madam Web, I rate this a 1 out of 10, you guys. That is my honest review. That is my honest opinion about this movie. I am honestly frustrated for the future of whatever Sony's doing in this Spider-Man-less Marvel character universe. These are the characters that mean so much to me, and they're ruining them. Hashtag bring it home to Marvel Studios, baby. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about Madam Web. Where would you rank it in Sony's Marvel universe? I honestly want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions. Let's be honest. Let's have this combo. Let's get this video to 100,000 views. Never not happening. But let's see what happens, you guys. Thank you for taking time out of your day for watching SeaWorld Productions. Peace.